I'm very pleased to have another Watkins event. We've got a series of a lot of great events happening, and we're delighted to have Master Huang, and we've got Jessica Kingsley from Jessica Kingsley Publishing here today, which is also a real treat. She's got a wonderful selection of books, and it's really a privilege to be able to be part of the community with her. And yeah, and she'll introduce Master Huang, our speaker for today. It's going to be a short talk, about 15 minutes, after which Master Huang will be sitting over there, and people can talk to him in a more intimate setting, and he can sign and dedicate books to you. So there'll be signed books afterwards. And yeah, we kind of have to squeeze in, but we've got some stalls out here, so
please come here, relax, be informal.
You know? Yeah, very casual. And, you can sit on the stalls. They're actually quite comfy. And like I said, it's a pretty short talk, so you'll have a chance to speak with Master Huang also at the signing. But yeah, with no further ado, I'll let Jessica take over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's a real privilege to be here, but the real privilege is to introduce our very eminent author, actually. We've been fortunate enough as a new small company publishing a singing dragon in this very interesting area to have found ourselves publishing some really interesting people, and I think of all of them, to publish 4 books by the same author all at once is unprecedented for us, and it's the most enormous privilege. It's also been great fun in the process, and today has been almost the most fun day I can remember, because we've had our author with us all day. So
we celebrate with champagne at lunch.
So let me just show you the books that we have, that all date from different times in Master Huang's long career. He was talking earlier about how he judges his friendships in decades now, rather than in years. And the first one was this incredibly important book that 40 years after it's published is still one of the key books in Tai Chi, with an introduction foreword by Alan Watts. And the second one is a book that again encompasses the essentials of Tai Chi, and it's still just as fresh today as it was when it was very first published by, I think, 2 publishers ago. The third one is this wonderful book called Quantum Soup, which he's added new stories to, and I think that it's the most personal of his books, actually. The spirit of what he does really shines through it, and it's the most interesting thing as a publisher was to find that the addition of new stories was really seamless. It was just like expanding rather than changing anything, and that was a very interesting experience for me. And the final one, which I'm just thrilled he allowed us to publish as well, is this wonderful, wonderful book of the 12 animals, which I wish that I had been the original publisher, but I'm so pleased and happy to be the publisher that now is in charge of making these 4 books into perennial favourites for the people that are so interested in them. So our author, Master Huang, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. As they were saying, you live old enough, suddenly you become perennial. And places named, I have a place at Essense Institute, I told you about this place, going to celebrate about 50 years of when they start become the center. Now there's an open deck where we do Tai Chi facing the Pacific Ocean. It's a gorgeous deck. And 2 years ago they named the deck after my name. It's a Chungliang Al Huang Tai Ji deck.
Yes.
And my grandchildren said, "Grandpa, you are now immortalized as a deck." But the wonderful honor is in all the rooms, including one called Huxley's honor, Aldous Huxley. and then all the names are named after dead people. So the only new one, real bestselling, is a person still alive. So I better stay alive longer now. Okay. The first book Jessica talked about. This is also a early in America we call human potential movement. The term actually started with Aldous Huxley. Yeah. When I first went to California, he was his last year, and then he used the word human potential. And in America we have place we call them growth centers, the beginning of New Age and Eastern philosophy, and eventually now this place. And in England, I've heard many people talk about your place here. But this book came into being out of persistence, and I was teaching movement, Tai Chi philosophy, and I didn't think I was an author. I was very reluctant writing. So a couple, mother and son publishing philosophy, and Carl Rogers and Fritz Perl, the Gestalt therapy, and they keep saying, write a book, write a book. I said, no, I can't write a book. I teach. Writing is my forte. So they sneak a tape recorder, follow me for 3 months. And they send me 300 pages transcriptions for Christmases. Please. I read, I said, oh, did I say that? That's not bad, it's okay. So we spent 2 summers transcribed, and then it became this book. Now it's in 15 languages for almost 40 years. That's how I started being an author, and then one after another. And Alan Watts and I collaborated, and then he died in the middle of the book, so I had to finish the book for him. So suddenly I was authored for 2 very important books. And then it went on, and but what is wonderful is through your new discovery in life that you begin to find ways to use what you know, to transmit what you know. I came to the West when I was a young first-year college student to study architecture in California. And then lo and behold, suddenly I started dancing, was invited to teach Tai Chi by Alan Watts, and lo and behold, and I became who I am. I told Jessica, don't call me master, it's just for other people. I'm a perpetual student of life, and I'm still learning how to transmit what I know. When Jessica was talking about Quantum Soup, about personal stories, I just want to mention 2 of the new stories I add. One is your John Cleese from Monty Python, and the other one, last night I had a reunion with is Jane Goodall, both of you British. And we have a wonderful quote here from Jane Goodall. I just wrote it for this special edition. These are stories of my good fortune. Hello, Inga. Hey, come join in the crowd. These are wonderful encounters in my life that I meet these people. They became my mentors and teachers. And the stories that I learned from them, I worked with them, became something that I share with my students. I talk about them. And in here you have stories about the Dalai Lama, a story about John Cleese and Jane Goodall. There's a new one just about Jane Goodall. I have to tell the Jane Goodall story.
Please do.
This is the Jane Goodall story. And several years, quite a few, about more than 10 years back, I was giving a concert in Bremen, Germany, with a musician many of you may know, Andreas Vollenweider, the Swiss harpist. He won the Grammy Award several years ago in America. We gave a concert. It was a big event, and they put us into this. Originally, we were scheduled to do a 2,000 seat beautiful concert hall in Bremen, but they sold 4,000 tickets. And of course, they want to sell the tickets, so they move us into a big rock concert hall, which smells like beer and peanuts and shells. And then the stage was so huge, and I stood there by myself. You could only see from my knee up, so it was impossible. So we decided we wanted to cancel the concert, and the 2 of us decided we shouldn't. But 4,000 people, they don't know. They're going to be unhappy. They're going to hate us. So we decided to just bit the bullet and do the concert. And it worked. Tai Chi worked. Okay? And when I finished, exhausted, and I went to my room, and underneath my door was a little fan letter from Jane Goodall. She said, thank you for the concert, and I'm revived. May I have breakfast with you? So we became soulmates, and ever since. One thing about Dr. Goodall, she's so committed to do her work in Africa with the Gombe Reserve with the chimpanzees. And her recent focus is called Roots and Shoots with children all over the world, helping them to understand environment, teaching them how to love the earth. And so we shared this. And she gets so exhausted, she will call me and said, Chungliang, I need some qi. And we had this early exchange when she told me when she first went to Africa, she said, I read the Tarzan stories, I'm better Jane for Tarzan. That Jane in the book, she's a wimp. I'm better Jane. So I said, well, I'm your Chinese Tarzan then. So I started going, oh. And she said, oh, that gave me a lot of qi. I said, so we have a game. Whenever she's tired, she will call me up. Chungliang, I need some qi. I will do it even on the telephone. She will get it. And it's been going on for years and years. And last year, when she celebrated 50 years of Gombe Reserve in Africa, in Tanzania, I was in America at a place called Omega Institute. And I gathered 300 people at the same time doing this Tarzan love call. And she was in Tanzania. She called me and said, did you just do Tarzan love call? I got it. So in this book, I talk about me, Tarzan, you, Jane, about this story. But the whole idea is, if you really tune in with another human being, and she was perfect with her animal observation, you can receive power. And I was talking to one person about qi. He was talking about the qigong idea, the sky. And I told him, it's about you. You are the perfect vehicle. You can tune in with the power of the universe. In Chinese, we call qi. Okay, we say follow your Tao. You have Tao Te Ching here. You have all kinds of wonderful channels from different cultures. Talking about the same thing. Basically, we're talking about how to enliven you as a person. And I am lucky coming from China. I grew up with the heritage. And I knew Tai Chi as a child. And I love to dance. And one of my early dance students just happened to walk by from Hong Kong without knowing, walked by and found me. And she is here. And now I remember her in her blue leotards with short hair, dancing across the room in the dance studio at UCLA. Yeah. And there are many people here now because we do Tai Chi together. Tai Chi is just a vehicle that for human to tune in to the universe with the power of being alive. And all my books are just different ways to channel that wisdom through me. And I'm lucky because many of them serve great people, love those books and through many publishings. And now thanks to this lady, and she gave me the honor to say, listen, please let us publish them to be perennial classics. So I'm playing with it again, I'm perennial now. Yeah? I'm immortalized as a decade at Essense Institute. But here I am in London, and in this beautiful spring day, and chance to be here. And the books are there, and let's start signing books, and if you have any questions, let's be informal and just talk, okay?
Cool, yeah.
Great, thank you. Any quick questions, immediate, anything you want to ask before I go over there for book signing? Yeah? Okay, let's get going then, all right? Let me greet my friends here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm sure they can.
Yeah.